have our quick fire rapid round.
Yeah.
So this is our little extended extra for YouTube that everyone loves. So there's a couple quotes and a couple rapid fire questions. So we'll cheer, we'll lighten the mood. We'll lighten the mood, right? So there's a couple quotes here, and I want your opinion on them and what you think, or if you agree with the statement. The first one is trust your gut.
It has its place, but that can also be very, very wrong. And I think if I had to put money in it, I'd say it's always it's a probability.
Yeah.
Because there's been so many times when I've been adamant that it's a certain way, this gut feeling, it's been totally wrong, and it's been proved to be. And then there's things I've seen in one light, and I thought, that's right, and it's not, and vice versa. So it's a 50-50 thing.
More money, more problems.
Not really. I think if you're that type of person, yeah. I mean, my dad had a fortune, and when he died, and my mother died recently, and we've got the will. There's loads of money there, but he never spent it, and he was never bothered about money. He never bought a car. He never had anything flash. It was just left in the bank, and they just lived on it. So it's how you brought up, and if you're brought up materialistic, then there's going to be problems. But there's no value on inanimate objects, is there? It's like cars and everything. Yeah, if people value cars and possessions and things over people, then they're not really nice people, are they? Because you can't put a price on life, can you?
No.
So you can make problems with money if you want, if you've been brought up that way, that, as Brendan used to say, money is your God, then that's all right. But it's just, all money is an end to a means that you can live, you can eat, you can live your life. But if you're buying things to make yourself happy, then it's for the wrong reason, isn't it?
Absolutely. Work for cause, not applause.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, work for a reason. Have a reason to do it, and if you're good at doing it, you'll get the rewards. If you're just doing it solely for money, you'll be disappointed, because the work required, especially in boxing, to get where you get, is far beyond what money can give you. Even if you're, it's like a Kell Brook or Kid Gallagher, the money you're going to make, the sacrifices that I've seen the sacrifice, and I've seen Kell Brook from 10 years old to 35. I've seen Kid Gallagher from 13 to 31. The sacrifices that they've made to get where they need to be. If it hadn't paid off at this point, for Kid Gallagher 5 years ago, if he hadn't paid 5 years ago, he'd have stopped boxing. Boxing would have been a waste of time for him.
Yeah.
Same with Kell Brook. So you've got to get to that last, part of your career, the last 2 or 3 years. You've got to have made the money then, otherwise the beginning of your career wasn't worth doing.
Absolutely. People may doubt what you say, but they will always believe what you do.
People will doubt what you say, but believe what you do. No, I don't agree with that, because you can do things and give the impression that you're doing things right, and it's just a blag, and that happens a lot. And same, people will doubt what you say, and they'll believe what you say. It just depends what their experience is. You can say things, and you can say it and do it, and it's still not right. It's just what how the person views it, basically.
Perfect. A friend to all is a friend to none.
Depends what context again. I think you can be a person like Brendan, for argument's sake, was a friend to everybody.
Yeah.
But he did have people at different levels of friendship. So it's always be polite to people in life. You know what I mean? You meet the people on the way up. When you're on the way up, be polite, because you're going to meet them on the way down, and that's where it is. And
Absolutely.
I think that's where his popularity stemmed from.
Absolutely. There is no great genius without some touch of madness.
And that's true as well. I mean, that's 100%. There's got to be something to make you think outside of the box.
Yes.
And as kids, the one thing good thing about my dad is he never said to me, "You're gonna have to go to university. You never have to do this. You find your own way, and you can actually do anything you want to be. You can be anything you want to be. You might not be good at it though, but nobody's going to stop you from. I'm not going to ever stop you doing it. So I wanted to be a footballer, a musician, but whatever I wanted to be. He never said, "Oh, you don't want to do that. Get yourself a 9 to 5." He never said to me, "Go and get yourself a job," because I got a good work ethic. He used to have us doing jobs, sweeping streets, carrying bricks from kids, digging holes, digging foundations. We got taught that kind of stuff, so we had a good work ethic anyway. We didn't get paid for it. We're doing it for free. So yeah, it's back to that question.
Finish the sentence. Loyalty is
Everything.
Yes, it is. It certainly is. Okay, this is a very, very quick rapid fire. We'll wrap it up with this. Couple questions. Who would you least like to be locked in a room with?
Would at least I could have a rapid fire. I could have a, there's so many quick answers to that. I would at least like to be locked. Do you know what? Tony Bellew.
Why Tony Bellew?
Because we probably come to blows, but
right. Okay. One person you would want to go on holidays with?
My kids.
Do you have a favourite kid?
No,
Do you have a favourite?
No, I don't.
Favourite song or lyric album?
Favourite song, so many, but I'll have to go with the Beatles, and the song would probably be not that I actually sit down and think about it, but Poignant is In My Life.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's just about people coming and going.
Yes.
Basically.
Great song. Most used swear words.
Mine.
Yeah.
The F word with idiot on the end.
Yeah, I might use that one myself. The worst trait another person can have.
Not understanding how fantastic I am. No, but don't put that.
That's the soundbite.
The most... What, sorry?
The worst trait another person can have.
Another person can have.
Yeah.
I don't know, probably... I'll have to quote my dad on this one. It'd have to be a liar.
Yes.
Because he used to say that a thief can steal from you, but back in the day, a liar could get you hung. And when I look at social media these days and see what's going off and people saying certain things about certain people without actually giving a thought where it ends up, that's the worst trait in people, lying.
That's a good one. Your worst trait?
My worst trait?
Yeah.
Thinking I'm always right. But at least I know that.
You kind of have to think that though to be a coach, right?
Yeah.
You have to be right. Fighter with the brightest future. Can't be a friend or someone that you're that's in your stable or that you coach, but someone outside that's on the way up that you've looked at and said they have a bright future.
Someone with the brightest future. You know what? I don't watch a lot of boxing, and there's loads and loads of kids, but I'd be stuck on that one. I think. I tell you I mean, if I'm going to go on past experience with people, I'm going to say, and people have probably said for a load of rubbish, but from what I've seen, I'm going to say Opie Price. In 6 fights, he beat a kid the other week, and you can see he's put himself in the mix. He's been down to Jim Sporring a few times, and I'm just talking about my circle of people, not worldwide, because I don't look worldwide boxing, and there's probably better ones. But in my experience of the kids I've seen over, a year or so from around where I am in my circle, I would say he's got a very bright future.
Very good, great. The pound for pound best superhero of all time.
Superhero,
yes,
as in boxing, or superhero as in fictional.
Fictional, yeah.
The best super fictional hero. It's gonna have to be for me, because I tell my kids stories about it and they're obsessed with it. It's Batman.
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah. Do you have a favourite Batman movie?
Do you know what? My favourite Batmans were the Adam West ones back in the 70s. You probably don't even know it.
No.
It's so corny. It's done in a studio in America, and it's like so corny and whatever.
Yeah.
But the Saturday morning, what you used to watch on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, is this the one I remember watching with my granddad? The TV series. With Robin and
so that,
Poison Ivy and the whole lot.
And it was so corny, but as kids we used to get up every Saturday morning to watch it.
Yeah,
and the Batman. My favourite Batman movies would be, I think, would be of recent times. Would be the one with Christian Bale in, I think.
Yeah, would he be your favourite Batman?
Yeah.
Michael Keaton was actually my favourite.
Michael Keaton was good, but
I love Batman Returns. That was my favourite one. Biggest fear?
Biggest fear? Not getting everything I think I need to get done before I leave the planet.
Yeah.
And I don't know quite what that is. But that's what it is. Thinking I'll give you a little story. So a lot of fighters, when they go into the ring, and this was Johnny Nelson particular time, and he's having a fight, and he's in York Hall, and the changing rooms aren't great. It's a bit of a shithole.
Yeah.
And the changing room's a shithole, and he's getting ready, getting changed, and he starts moving stuff about, putting a chair there, picking rubbish off, and setting his clothes and putting them in a pile of his shoes on top, and making all this room neat. And I'm thinking, what's he doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, so he goes out in his boxers, and he wins. He says, why were you tidying room for me? He goes, well, if it happened to me at ring, I need to go into the ring with a clear mind that if it happened to me, that my clothes are going to be nice and tidy and everything were in its place, and you could get my stuff and put it in a bag and blow it. I went, oh, right. And that was his thought process. He goes, I had to have a tidy space before I entered into the ring.
Wow.
I had to have a clear mind. So that's, that's that thought there, that you want to have everything in place, because, when we die, we never know it's going to happen. But yeah. And even if you do put things in place to look after your family, and my dad said to me, when he was not particularly too many years away from death, you're going to carry on this gym, aren't you? I went, yeah, you're not going to knock it down, because we do houses and we've got properties. You're not going to knock it down and build houses and, you'll make far more money. I went, no, we're going to keep on doing this until we can't do it, because that's what you want us to do. It's your thing, not ours. So it's not going to stop. It's only going to stop when there's no longer a demand for it and nobody's interested. I says, then we'll stop. I says, but you've spent all your life doing this, and there's probably another good 10, 15 years maybe out of it to go on. And you've already made your mark. You've got your plaques in Sheffield Town Centre. You've got one outside the gym. You've got lots of all these things. And we will carry on doing it while ever we've got the ability to do it. And it would have been so great if it had been here, if they'd have both been here, my parents, for Barry, to see Barry doing it, because that would have been the icing on the cake for him, because he always said to Barry, you're going to be you're going to be the one, and that's a good thing. And it's, if there's such place as heaven and they're looking down, they'll see it. But it goes down alongside, when he has his Wikipedia page, it'll say world champions Kid Galahad. It's all going to be there in the history books, and he's going to leave his mark. I'm not particularly bothered about leaving my mark. Like I say, I'll be happy enough to go down as the son of Brendan Ingle. I'm not particularly bothered of making a name for myself in boxing as, these big names, because that takes a lot. And I ain't been doing it long enough. And you've got to have a backstory to that. It's a great story. Brendan came from Ireland. He'd worked on a building site. He got into boxing, and he did all these things from this little place in Sheffield, and produced so many world champions. It's great. My story is I was born into it. A bit like a rich kid who inherits a load of money and then tells everybody that the cars and the houses he's buying is down to his hard work. It's not. It's down to somebody else's. I'm just investing.
I think you're being a little hard on yourself there, Dominic.
I'm just investing. I'm investing the experience of the time into keep it going. That's how I view it, to be honest.
Amazing. Right. Weirdest thing a fan has done.
Weirdest thing a fan has done.
Do you get recognised a lot?
Yeah, I do, but I don't think weird thing. I always remember Kel Brooks saying to me just about photos and stuff, and having photos and autograph. Yeah, when they start shaking, I goes, what do you mean? He went, well, you'll see. So I had a photo or something done, and somebody's got their arm around, you can feel him shaking. I'm thinking, what's wrong with him? You know what I mean? And I went, oh, right, that's what you mean. But as weirdest thing a fan can, I don't think there's any, boxing fans tend to be all right. So there will be something, I would imagine. Yeah. But not that anything stands out. It's just passed me on. It was just so, I didn't give it much thought. There are a few things I want to say, but I don't think it go down quite well. It's like, but I can't really think that one.
Your worst memory from school?
Forgetting my shorts for PE a few times, and
that doesn't sound like you.
Well, I think I was 6 at the time. It was Winkerbank First School. It was a lovely school, and the teacher said, next time you forget your shorts, I'm going to make you do it in your underpants. And I can just remember thinking to myself, oh, that's so embarrassing, and I forgot them, and she made me do it. I had these Y fronts on, and I just had this feeling, and nobody would probably have been bothered, that everybody was looking at me because they got the shorts on, and I got me white Y fronts on and my trainers, and I just thought to myself, I'm so embarrassed, and I was so self-conscious. And when you look back now, it's nothing, but at the time I just think, the biggest deal. I stood in my pants. I could have been stood naked for all, what I mean? That's how bad it felt. So that's it.
Do you have a tattoo?
No,
no tattoo.
No tattoos. I was never allowed to have tattoos, smoke, or have my ears pierced.
And have you no earrings and never smoked?
No.
There we go. Most intimidating person you've ever met?
Intimidating person. I'll have to say there's not many, because when you're brought up in an environment when you're around them frightening type of people, he becomes like second like nature, just to accept, and you just realise, I've never really met anybody who's intimidated me, to be honest. If I had to before to say, I would say it's Mike Tyson, and he came over to fight in the UK and Scotland. There was a big protest about him, and we're all on this big table. Junior Witter was fighting Zab Judah. Mike Tyson he might have been, I think that like Peter McNeely or somebody, maybe, or I forget who it was. I remember it was a fight when he hit the referee, and we're on this table, and Junior Witter started spouting off, and we're all leant forward, and Mike Tyson just leant down the table and looked up, menacing looking. I just sat back and thought, you want to get into a lift with him. But at the time, Johnny Nelson was up there as well, and Frank was trying to make a fight with him and Johnny Nelson, because I think Johnny was maybe the cruiserweight champion, and I think Johnny had been talking it up. Yeah, I'd give him a good fight. Yeah. And Johnny was in a lift, and the lift stopped, and Johnny was in the lift with his wife. And the lift stopped, the doors open, and Mike Tyson came in, and Johnny goes, and his wife said, I could just feel Johnny's hand tighten up, squeezing around, and say, oh God, he's getting in thing. And he got it, lift looked at me. He says, the lift, and I just like stood there like as if I didn't see him, and that was that. So if, I think at the time, the only person I would think to myself, is Mike Tyson.
That's a fair shout.
But that was in his, I think we're talking 2000 here, 2001, so it was still, that type of thing about him, and aura about him, and he was still vicious. And when he turned and just give you that smile, like he's gonna kill you, it's like, that's enough to scare anybody, isn't it?
Was there anyone that you were ever like not so much starstruck, but you were like, God, I can't believe I've just met that person?
Do you know what? It's funny that, because I don't really. I've met a lot of people in my time through boxing, and I always look at it this way. Look, you become famous because of things you do, and people make you famous. If you're good at football, and met Gary Lineker, I've met lots of celebrities and people over time, and even my dad was considered a celebrity. He's the most down to earth person. So they're just normal people. So I always view it. I never really get starstruck by people. I do like to meet people because of how they've got. What's made them tick to get to that point. Yeah. So I think the only time I've ever been bothered, I mean, like I said, we've met everybody: Oasis, pop stars, snooker players. I mean, every Tom, Dick and Harry. Dave Beckham's been ticked. Jim. There's loads, loads of people. But I was in Canada a few years back, and I was with Kid Gallagher, and he kept pestering me to go to this shop, Lululemon it was. He says, I found this shop. What would be perfect for you, stuff you wear, because you're old. I went, oh, fantastic, like. So we went to this shop, and we're in Toronto, nice sunny day, and he's dragging me to this place. I'm thinking, I don't want to go shopping today. Yeah. But he wanted to go, so we get to this shop, and we were having a shop around. Then we come out, and I'm just stood looking. I'm thinking, there's this woman walks out on the street, and I'm thinking, oh my God. And she just stood there, and Barry's, come on. I goes, Barry, and he went, come on, we're going. I went. So I went up to her and went, excuse me. She went, Andy McDowell. She went, yeah. I goes, oh, can I have a photo? And she went, yeah, no problem. But it's like, what's he doing, idiot? Like, who's she? So we're getting photo out. She went, oh, get it positioned right. So we got photo, and she's talking away. And I'm like, she's talking, oh, what you were doing, and where you on boxing and blah. He's trying to drag me away, saying, what are you wasting your time here? Who's this like? Yeah. So we're having photo, and like, I'm trying to then get away, and he's like, she's talking to him and asking him all these questions. You think just have a photo and clear off. Yeah. She's a big star or whatever. Yeah. And she's like, Barry's looking at me and said, this woman's like talking ears off me. I can't get away from her. Anyway, she went, he goes, who were that? I went, got him up on the phone. He went, you're joking. I said, all the films you've seen, Barry, but you don't know. I can't believe it were her. Yeah,
so, she's been in everything, all the big ones, right?
Yeah, I mean, and obviously when they come to the end of the dipping off or whatever, but regardless of that fight, she was such a pleasant person, not like up herself or anything, you know what I mean? And she was doing a thing, and she could have gone, yeah, photo gone and off, because you see most people doing it, oh yeah, no, don't mind a photo and I'm off, like whatever. But she's like, she got all the time in the day, and when I showed him, he goes, oh, I wish I had got a photo with her now. Well, because how did you recognise her? I went, I don't know, Barry, but it's just one of the moments when you just look in the crowd and you just think, bloody hell, what a... And I wasn't even going to go that day, and for me, that was really when I was a bit starstruck, and probably shouldn't have been, but because I've seen so many films with her in it over the years, when you've seen all these big films, you just think, blooming heck, just walking around casually in Toronto and nobody even knew she were.
Wow.
So that's I don't often get starstruck, but it was a good day.
That's a great story. Final one. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Abrasive, awkward, and stubborn.
They're 3 good ones.
Yes.
If I was a therapist, I would like to divulge into why those 3.
That's I can be pleasant, but my general persona is, or how people see me, is that because I don't particularly go out my way to tell people that what they want to hear. My job, even though it's not a 9 till 5 job, mine. It's not like you get up at 9 o'clock and you finish at 5. It's a continuous thing.
Yeah.
And one thing I've realised in boxing is that people have got dreams and ambitions that sometimes far exceed their ability. And to fuel that past the point, what you should do is not a good thing. You've got to be realistic.
Yeah.
You've got to use a bit of kidology. You've got to use a bit of psychology. You've got to use a lot of things. And it's no good. I see it so much in boxing that I was actually thinking yesterday, I was having a cup of coffee in the kitchen thinking, what makes a good trainer? And I look and I think, what makes a good trainer these days half the time is being able to massage people's egos.
Yeah. Because
that's how you can get into anybody. And I look at some trainers, I look at some situations with people who I've on board, and I think that's just having your massage ego. That's why you're in. That's why somebody's with you. For me, I've been on the circuit so many years without big fighters. I did I've had fighters from being journeymen, middle of roaders, champions. I've done the lot. And even when I was in world title fights, I still took kids out who were probably journeymen. And people say, why do you associate with that? Because that's the learning curve.
Yeah.
You can't make a journeyman. You can sometimes make a journeyman win a fight, but you're there to protect them and get them through the fight. And if you're training them, and so I've worked from, even when I had elite level fighters, I still work from the bottom. And if I had them type of fighters, I still go out. We've got Danny Morrell in the gym. He's only like a one fight. Train him. I'm a world championship trainer, but so what? You know what I mean? I'm not that up myself, or I ain't got time for anybody. I've got time for people who make time for themselves. That's the thing. And I ain't got time for people who come in, who want all the attention, not prepared to put the work in. If you're going to put the work in, no problem. It's easy. You're going to spend that time with people. So you've got to be realistic, and I won't butter people. I won't tell them they're the best. I won't massage their egos. I'll have to tell them straight. It's just the way I am, and that's not my dad's side, that's my mum's side. Never, and if we could have 4 words to describe me, it would be not suffering fools gladly. And that's it. You got to be realistic in this game, because people can get hurt, and it's a dangerous game. So you've got to be right with people and tell them exactly how it is. What's going to happen when they get in this ring. How dangerous it's going to be. And I remember having this conversation with Kel before he boxed Golovkin. He came in and I went, listen, you know what you're up against? I says, but how you think it's going to play in your mind is not how it's going to go. I says, whatever you're thinking, it'll be all negative. I says, but when you get in that ring with this guy, no matter what people think and how people blow him up and everything else, I says, by the very fact you've gone up a weight division to fight this kid, says something about you. And if you're prepared to take it, I says, you can win this fight. And he could have won the fight. I don't care what anybody says, a load of rubbish, he's way out in his depth. No, he weren't out in his depth. So he put up a great performance for whatever it was. And he came out and he went, you were right. He says, I could have done so much better. And what I was thinking beforehand wasn't how it was going to be. It didn't work out the way I thought it was going to go. So, in a positive way. And that's the thing. You can't tell people, you're going to win this fight. It's going to be that you're going to knock him out. No, it's going to be an hard fight. If you do everything right and you stick to your training and you believe in what you can do, you're going to be all right. You're going to get through this fight. That's what happened when he boxed Sean Porter. That's what Galahad happened with Warrington first fight, Jazza Dickens second fight. All these fights, it's just an adjustment. You get something slightly wrong, you make sure it's right for the next one. So, Well,
that's a perfect end to our podcast. Thank you very much for coming in. Did you enjoy it?
I did, yes.
Good. Thank you. And thank you for sharing so many stories. It was a true honour. Thank you very much.
And can you just make sure you cut that bit out of me when I start tearing up a bit?
Absolutely not.
It's not good for my image. I like to walk around thinking that I'm the hardest man on the planet and I'm unbreakable.
No, it was a perfect touch. It showed all your different elements, so it was
Okay.
good. But thank you so much for coming in. I
No
really do
worries.
appreciate it. That was Dominic Ingle for the First Exchange podcast.